Let's take a look at one more video, which is Amit Segal. He's one of Israel's most known commentators and journalists, and he talks about a dichotomy that Iran faces.
וגם באמת באשר למטרות, לא נפט, לא גרעין, לא גז וכולי. תראי, הפרדוקס האיראני...
He says that the Iranian paradox
לאחר התקיפה הזאת הוא כזה. מצד אחד...
After this attack is as follows.
הם חייבים להגיב על פגיעה מאוד מאוד קשה בריבונות של...
On the one hand, they have to strike back at Israel because Israel undermined their sovereignty in a very embarrassing way.
מהצד השני, היכולת שלהם להגיב יורדת, חיסלנו להם את אמצעי ייצור הטילים, פגענו בעוד דברים,
However, their ability to launch such an attack has become much more limited because they no longer have the same capability after the strike, and also they have less defensive capability as well, because Israel took out the air defenses. They have less ability to defend themselves. However, Israeli military analysts foresee that Iran will respond in some way.
שעשוע, אם אפשר לקרוא לזה ככה בסיטואציה הזאת, על כל הדיון כאילו על סיכום המשחק שאנחנו עוד בערך בשלב הגישושים.
All right, so and Israeli intelligence is kind of smirking at the discussion, the Iranian discussion of how they're going to strike back, since that, you know, it's pretty obvious that Israel really has air superiority right now over Iran. Of course, this is IAD. We can never laugh at the enemy or not take them seriously. Look what they did to us on the 7th of October. And let's be real, they totally took us by surprise, murdered our people, and we were barely able to defend ourselves on that day. So we should never take lightly the abilities of our enemies and always take them seriously and always be on guard. Let's keep going with Amit Segal. He says Iran is our main enemy, and the masks are off now. It's not just a proxy war anymore. It's mano a mano. It's face to face. It's the principal actors fighting against one another in the open.
שניים מהם בשלבי כרסום משמעותיים, אחד זה הציר, חמאס וחיזבאללה.
So Iran has three major strengths. One is already being dealt with, and that is the proxies, Hezbollah and Hamas, and that's being dealt with, and their ability has been stymied.
ספגו מכות קשות ביותר. השני זה...
They got strong hits against them, these two forces.
הטילים, אתמול בלילה או לפנות בוקר...
The other one is the rocket ability, and now Iran's rocket ability has been shrunken
פעולה מוצלחת, אבל...
in this successful operation.
המטרה הסופית, הגביע הקדוש, הגרעין, מה שכל
And the last major strength that Iran has, the Holy Grail, is the nuclear abilities, the nuclear bomb that they would like to develop to throw at Israel, destroy Israel, and also, by the way, to destroy Saudi Arabia, which is Sunni control of their what they think of as their holy places, of Muslim holy places, which they would like to control.
אמורה להגן עליו, והוא בסוף האיום הקיומי על מדינת ישראל, ולכן להגיד שהדבר הזה יסתיים, זאת בדיחה.
Okay, so we cannot say that this is over. Israel is not taking care of the nuclear challenge. And so to say that it's over and that the game is over is a joke. The war continues.
מה שכן אפשר להגיד, אולי יסתיים האירוע בזמן ממשל ביידן. פנינו לימים דרמטיים ביותר בארצות הברית.
Okay, what we can say is that this stage of the conflict was done during the time of the Biden administration, and we are set for very dramatic days in the American elections coming up.
בישראל הזאת לפחות, נדמה לי שמקווים שדונלד טראמפ ייבחר, ואז הכל...
He says, I think that the Israeli administration, the Israeli government would like to see, the coalition would like to see Donald Trump elected.
והערה אחרונה.
כלומר, אתה אומר בעצם צריך להבין שמבחינת ראש הממשלה יש כאן ציפייה שטראמפ ייבחר, ואז הוא יוכל להשלים את המשימה.
לא.
She asked, does this mean that the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, is hoping that Trump will be elected and therefore he can continue and finish off the Iranian problem?
אין ספק שהגישה של טראמפ כלפי איראן שונה לחלוטין מהגישה של האריס ושל ביידן.
There's no doubt that the Trump administration's position vis-a-vis Iran is 180 degrees different than the Biden-Harris administration.
זה אחד, לפחות לפי העבר והצהרות. הדבר
According to
הנוסף,
the past, that is.
אנחנו במלחמה שלא הורגלנו אליה מעולם. היינו רגילים למלחמות של 6 ימים.
We are in a war that we are completely unused to. We were used to war in 6 days.
של 18 יום פתאום קיבלנו
18 days.
מלחמה שנכנסת עכשיו לשנתה השנייה. היינו
Now we're entering into a war that is going into its second year. We're in a totally different type of conflict than we're used to.
רגילים למין מכות כאלה מדהימות, מפתיעות של ישראל. ישראל עכשיו...
We are witness to these amazing and surprising strikes by Israel like we saw last night in Iran.
נגד כמו ארצות הברית, מודיעה מראש שהיא עומדת לתקוף, שר הביטחון אומר.
And we're even letting the Iranians and the Americans, we let them know that we're about to strike. We're even dealing with the international community by kind of like making sure that everybody's aware.
ראש הממשלה אומר, ופשוט מנחיתה את המכות, לא יודע לגבי התמשכות המלחמה, אבל בהקשר הזה ממש התנהגות של מעצמה.
This is, he says, I don't know about the future, but this is the actions of a superpower, or at least a regional power, and Israel is really taking control, and that's the only way. That's the only way around here. If Israel pushes back on Iran, hopefully even leads to regime change, we'll be liberating the millions of people in Iran that are looking forward to liberation from that awful regime. And so too in Gaza, and so too in South Lebanon. Israel is on a path of cleaning out the region of jihadism and showing its strength, and thereby getting back to the idea of the Abraham Accords. You know, Sunni countries that are like they're, let's call them moderate today. Although, by the way, parenthetically, the UAE has condemned Israel's strike in Iran, but still, the Abraham Accord countries understand that not only understand, look forward to Israel being the security chief around here, the kind of provider of security, including a nuclear umbrella in this region. And that's what's going to happen when Israel is strong, pushes back on its enemies, gets rid of jihadism, is the governor and the sovereign in its land, and certainly has a strong arm against anybody who wants to hurt it from a distance. So that is the consciousness that we have woken up to here in the Middle East. Israel striking at Iran, and now the game is no longer a game of proxies. It's now a game of Iran versus Israel, and the fight is in the open.